We are back with another piano live today. So this is 22.5. I'm not counting this as a new day. And I'm still counting this as day 3 on don't know why. So, all right. Oh, I forgot to get my other records running. Give me 1 second. As I get these other records going, become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. And we will write the sheet music you want. What else will we do? You can tell us what videos you have opinions for. I was all ready to go for this second live. Just rocking and rolling and forgot to press record on that. But we are good now. Okay. So I just really wanted, I have to teach this on Wednesday, and I've only had a couple sessions with this, obviously being only day 3 at this point. And I just wanted to have just another go around and kind of reaffirm everything I learned today and just kind of take it to a next level. So the next 2 days, if I hit it hard, I don't know, I can probably be close to getting done with this. So that is my whole story. That's why we're doing 2 today, and I'm just going to jump in and, like I said, try to grease the wheels of what I've already learned. So, and it'll probably be less talking than this afternoon. So if you do need a bigger breakdown of the notes, just go watch 22. That I kind of talked about, or you can go to day 1 too. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the other thing that I want to work on is fixing my want to leave early. I gotta sustain these notes for the full duration. So like 1 and 2 and 3. See, I like to leave just a little early, so I'm gonna try to pay a little bit of mind. You know, it's gonna keep me from going up to faster tempos right away. So just try to focus on that, and that's just something long term I need to fix in all of my playing. All right, so 40 BPM and 3 and 4 and. And I'll add that pedal as I get more comfortable with the song. Just making sure we're set. All right, so that measure is pretty easy for me. Let's go to the next 2. And here's where I'm going to have some issues, right? So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and. All right, we're gonna go a little slower. These are the 3 measures that cause me a little bit of pain. So we got 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's just do right hand. Get this warmed up. Get this going. So ignore the left 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So left hand 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and E flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Oh, my, that's not fair. What's Rush E, though? For $500? See, this is where I need to get super chats, and then I would probably do that. But Mathias? I think I pronounced that right. You have to, who's Rush E by? $500. Oh, I could take the week off work. We'll have to talk down the road. Let me know who it's by. But it's probably out of my skill set. You know, in 4 years I can do like, hey, I was at an open mic night last week and somebody shouted Freebird and they go $100. And they're like, if you want to play the solo, it's an extra $100. So $200 total. All right, so let's jump back in. 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, with metronome again. Also, what if Rushy's an impossible song? All right, now I'm interested. Oh, I don't have the internet hooked up right now, my guy. Otherwise, I'd listen to it. I'll check it out later, though. It's like, maybe I can play this. 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's put those two measures together, which at the end of the session this afternoon, I was struggling just putting all 4 of these together. So maybe just tackle it from a different angle, and maybe it'll be easier for you. Kind of philosophy. So let's go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and say that a couple times. Even that space between 1 and 2 and takes me a little bit to get used to it. You just have to wait, right? I mean, like, this happens on a lot of instruments. Like this leading on the offbeat stuff, and then all of a sudden this one's leading on the 2, right? So I got a little bit extra space you get used to. And 2 and it's so slow at 40, which is good for me because I can't play it any faster yet. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Need to change some notes there. 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. So for whatever reason, just getting that loop going is throwing me off. So let's do a couple without worrying about the metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and again. Now some of that me leaving too early gets resolved as we speed this stuff up. What happens as well as you speed stuff up, you start to hear some of your flaws too. So, you know, be the right amount of picky for where your playing level's at. Like, I'm being mildly picky right now. Just because I feel like that's what I hear in my head. Gross exaggeration, right? What I'm actually playing. Just gotta watch that stuff. Let's do a couple with metronome, try to smooth it out. Let's hear 40 BPM though. 1 and 2 and so we got that slow 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Let's try it. Let's try a couple. And 2 and 3. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. My brain went somewhere else. Tried in my head was trying to play the left hand on my right hand or vice versa. So again, let's do action. No, we'll keep it both hands together. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 So things I'm thinking about. One is I'm trying to relax as I'm playing. Two is I'm trying to like use I wouldn't say use the right fingers. I'm using the right fingers every time I'm playing this, or the fingers that I kind of have set out for myself. Just trying to get a sense, try to get a flow for it. Have small segments memorized so I can just sit there. The best thing you can do in the beginning is just shut your brain off and just play it over and over again, and try to hear the nuances of it. As I was getting comfortable, trying to keep it in time. The timing for me right now is slipping. You could hear me play when I was doing one measure at a time, doing a much better job with keeping that rhythm going. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll look at the next two measures. Let's do just right hand for a minute, and maybe I can kind of like suss out what's throwing me off. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and We'll take two measures off and kind of come back in. I was just getting lost in that loop. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and So again, when I'm not staring at the sheet music, I in my head I instinctively know it's a B flat chord, but then my left hand wants to grab that B flat as well. All right, let's leave that and come back to this. We'll come back to it in a bit. So this next measure, we're starting on a G in our left hand, down to a C. So we're going 1 and 2. Yeah, F natural. 1. I like how I asked that. I answered it as like it was a question. Yes, F natural. We got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we're going to do that like 10 times in a row. Slower. 1 and 1 and 2 and... Should probably do what I did earlier today. Do this to 3. 1 and 2, 3. Yeah. So just kind of get a loop there that we're always starting over on two beats of rest, and then we get used to putting this F in at the end as well. So let's do right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1, 2. And then it'll just be 1, 2 and start all over again. All right, so 1 and 2 and... 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. All right, let's see if that kicks me in order or not. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Oh, couldn't even do it. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, I'm starting on that B flat. And 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. So let's do a couple with our left hand. I'm just trying to, again, if my right hand can hold that groove and my left hand can kind of just float, I don't have to think so hard. I don't know if that's going to be possible for me on this part at this point. 1. So we got that G. First part's not bad, right? G to C. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, that was right. I was surprised that was correct. That's all we're going to worry about hitting, because that B flat measure gets me a lot. All right, let's walk through that again. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Try to lift up that note. All right, let's give that a try. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It's got one wrong note in there. 1. And we'll just take a break. It's a little bit much for me to try to do 2 in a row. 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so timing's a little crap right now. And I'm doubting myself every time I go back to that F and E. Or that F, and then it's E natural, and then the fourth finger takes over the E. So that's just a little bit of gymnastics for me that I'm not good at. So like every minute or every time I pause on it a little bit, I hesitate. And you can't really hesitate when you're playing something in time like this. 2 and 3. Play the F instead of the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and E. 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Brains froze. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I think I made a mistake. So, and then in my head I'm thinking, dude, I'm just happy I'm doing 2 of these in one day because it becomes such a more relaxed exercise, and there'll be a huge payoff for this tomorrow. But I need to focus on the problem at hand as playing this. So, all right, let's do a couple without metronome just to get it together. want to start doing is, actually, no, let's treat these as two separate things. I don't think I'm going to be smart enough to put them together yet. So let's try to get it's kind of what I ended up doing on the last one. So we got this and 3 and, or 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So that E flat becomes a D. Let's count that measure out. So actually, let's just focus on getting and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Like that in and of itself will be a win for me. Just to get that rhythm down. If I can get that in my right and left hand together on that, I'd be pretty happy for tonight. And it's weird again, right? We're coming on that offbeat, that 1 or 3 and 4 and. Let's tap this out. We'll just tap it out on a note because there's a piano right in front of me. So B flat. So we're going 3 and 4 and 1. Kind of weird, right? And 1. Shit, at that point, let's just play the notes. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's a lot of just like rhythm offbeat stuff going on. So the more we can drill that in, the better. So let's count that out. So we got 3 and 4 and. And the end is where I want to start because it's kind of the beginning of this phrase. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So let's just go and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If that's easy for you, kudos. I owe you a high five. I'll gladly give you one at some point. This is difficult for me. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and gotta count the right beats. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what I like about that is if I hear a downbeat, I just don't play, right? I'm always duh, play through the downbeats. Which it seems like a weird way to say it, but like it helps me know I'm right. I hear a downbeat right after I played something. I know that anything that's on a downbeat, then I made a mistake. 4 and 1 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and left hand. Let's figure that out. So we're playing an F, down to a B flat, and then back to an F. So what are the benefits? Or what makes this easy? Is anything in this part easy? So you have the downbeat of 1, so it's 3 and 4 and 1. So that's nice, right? Those are together. B flat by itself, and then on this offbeat you have another F. Just that alone. That's a lot for me. And then right away you have another chord, and then back to the F at the same time that you play the B flat. I have a plan. My plan is to slow this down. So let's take this 40, because I'll need to walk through this a bunch just to get this idea down in my playing. So let's try 34. It might be enough. I want it so slow that I can just really, I always talk about it like plotting it out. And I think that's like, when I ask a student to do it, it's like reading it. Read it to me. Pretend these are words and read it to me and play it that slow. And 34 might be that tempo for me. So we got, all right. I need my F, my B flat here. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. New idea. Same idea, but a different change of it. So I always want this runway. I like this idea of like giving myself 2 clicks in, right? 1, 2. In this song, it's 3, 4 that we're actually giving myself the runway to. But I think I can build this, and it'll take me like 5 or 10 minutes. But if I do this over and over again, I'll get it quicker than I would if I try to never do the whole phrase over and over again. It's a good waste of your time. Don't do it from the beginning, I guess. Eventually, you want to get to the place where you can play the whole passage. That'd probably be music. But like when you're practicing, find the smallest phrase possible that makes sense for you to just repeat. That's a better use of your brain power than trying to run through 4 bars at a time. I mean, like, I don't run through 4 bars ever. And even when I do, I know I'm rambling at this point, but even when I do run through 4 bars, it's only to put it into context. And then the minute I know I'm bad at something, take that context away and go back to 2 measures. So here is my very long-winded idea. So we're going to go 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. So we're just going to do that a couple times to get the idea of and 1 and 1. And then as soon as we get that, we're going to just add in the next beat and 1 and. Actually, yeah, that's what we'll do it. The offbeats on the second measure is what concerns me, if it'll help me or not. 2 and 4. Nope. Oh, yeah. We do need 1 extra beat. All right, we're going to do right hand only. Try to do it a couple times. I think my idea might work. I'm not struggling with my idea. This is what practice is sometimes. Figuring out ideas to way to learn this and then try to hold it together. All right, let me demonstrate my idea and maybe it'll help me get it figured out for me. So what I really want to do is just get a click going 3 and 4, 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. Then as soon as I'm feeling comfortable with that, and 1 and 1 and. Ooh. Now I might be like overthinking this, so just bear with me. We're gonna figure out a process. And maybe the only thing you get out of this is like seeing like, all right, find a unique way to practice or a different way to tackle this that makes sense for you. If you can walk away with that concept instead of running through the whole song all the time, that's awesome. That would be a win for me. When a student gets that, I'm always like, yes, you finally understand how to approach learning this stuff. And I'm like, just start learning it then. You don't need me. So I want to see if I can go 4 and 1. And 1. 4 and 1. Let's practice that. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 4. So you can see it's throwing me a little bit, but we're gonna go down this rabbit hole and see. So 3 and 2 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 4 and 1 and. So where I'm struggling other than everywhere is just keeping this guy down. Really just trying to create a small loop that allows me to go in practice with the metronome. 4 and 1 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and. So let's try to add the next 2 beats to that. It's not going to go well, but and again, because of this tie into the next one, it's almost like I have to go all the way to 3 and. So right now we got 4 and 1 and 2 and. So I'm really happy that the bass clef and the treble clef are kind of lining up on that section because it just makes it way easier for me. So 4 and 1 and 2. Oh, let's start that over again. 4 and 1. So something I need to work on is just not. I want to lift that B flat a little early. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. It's really what we're trying to get across. I might have gone like the most roundabout way to get there. And also because like I knew that I was struggling with it earlier today. I know that this is hard for me rhythmically, so it's like gotta find a new way to approach this and get the lesson learned. So 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Nope. And 3. And. Robert, what's up with you, my guy? I haven't seen you for a bit. I've been flaky. I had some computer systems go down and just had to reset some stuff and then took a couple days off. But what have you been up to, my guy? What has your weeks been like since it's probably been 2 since I've seen you? 2 and 3 and Dude, Robert, I played drums like hardcore. I was working on Smells Like Teen Spirit, and then I think I was done on like Friday last week or something, and just haven't had a chance. As I was saying earlier today, I teach like 30, 40 students a week. I used to own a music studio, but like when I have a student that wants to learn something on drums that's challenging, I try to focus on that. And then I was kind of done wrapping up some drum stuff, and I was like, I didn't need a break. It kind of felt like I was doing some good stuff, but I have a student that's a little bit, and you can tell, like, don't know why, but Norah Jones, especially the guitars arranged for piano, are a little bit above my skill set. So I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. How are you doing? And I'm gonna give you more to how am I doing. I'm doing okay. Sometimes practicing like this is stressful. What do you mean teach them like the drummer? Teach them how to play drums. Well, no, and they're very understanding. I've said this to a lot of students where I'm like, yeah, I can't do everything. I can't know every instrument at a high level. And eventually you hand people off. You're like, hey, you know, I can take you this far. But I'm kind of stubborn, and you probably have noticed that already, where I'm like, well, I can get that. I can learn this piano part. And relatively, I can get to the point where I can play this. I might like answering this. I might go a roundabout way, but for the most part, I'm like, I can learn this. I can figure this out, and I literally enjoy the puzzle of them all. Huh. I don't know. She's not that interested in probably drums. She's really interested in keyboard. She's a little interested in singing. Oh no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Well, here's the problem with not problem with her in a negative way, but problem with teaching her is like she can learn stuff pretty good. She can play it at a decent level. So she is very much that way. She wants to, if I play something, she can copy it. The problem is, as you see, I need to learn how to play it, right? So it takes me a while to be like, all right, this is that song. What I've noticed about my own playing skill set is if I work on this for 4 days before I see her, I can pretty much answer any question to her, kind of see where I have some difficulties, and then hand that idea off to her. So, yeah. But no, it's good chatting, my guy. But I guess I was going to ramble on about I had some Wi-Fi issues at the barn. Ah, thanks, Robert. I appreciate that. And yeah, so it took me a couple days to resolve them, and it was some frustration of like, why don't you just work? And from that, kind of taking some days of like chill. What I miss when I don't do these though is like this stuff, and especially just the stress of doing them live. Well, the stress goes down as I continue to do this, but bro, I want to teach her singing. She wants to sing. She's just a little shy for me yet, so I've been encouraging her hardcore on just like getting comfortable. But yeah, but practicing this way is like the good and bad. Like it really motivates me to figure out how to teach in this way live, and to get to the place where I'm playing at a higher level. So like it's kind of like a dog that bites you. I'm just gonna keep on petting that dog, and eventually that dog's not gonna bite me. That's kind of the long-term goal. All right. So I'm kind of wondering. Let's try to go put this whole measure together. Let's do a couple of those, and see if I can, like, within 10 minutes or so, via the time I have, get this close to being right. And then I'd like to hit the intro, and then like to be done. So 15, 20 minutes. Bro, Robert, you're not different from how I teach. I'm like, you can do it. You can figure it out. And I do like to use the example of, like, if I can figure this out, chances are you can figure this out too. All right. And good chat, because even chatting a little bit like this gets my brain off of the piano, gives my brain time to, like, create those neural pathways and then put it back together. It's that downtime you guys need when you're learning stuff. I need as I learn stuff, and you guys might need as well. And even doing like 2 of these in one day is the best thing for me. So I'm planning on doing 2 tomorrow. I plan on, and just piano. And just focusing on one instrument, mostly because, like I said, the song's due on Wednesday for her. So you as well, Robert. You as well. Got to see what that head is, though. You're a good. Almost looks like a mushroom. An egg. Both hands is tough. Both hands is tough, not going to lie. I'll show you where I'm at, Robert. I'll give you a little sample. Good for me to review, too. Not saying that I'm very far with where I'm at. 1. Brain hurt. Oh, it's at F. It's in the name of the chord, B flat, suspend 4/F. Oh. So those first 3 measures, I'm going to do that again. I can do that pretty well. The brain slows down a little bit on that 4th one when I have to do all that reading. Now, when I play more piano, it impacts my other instruments so much. So more than anything else, I wish I wasn't a little dick when I was a kid, when my parents made me take piano lessons at 8 and I fought them. I spent more time fighting them and throwing a fit that if I would have put half that amount of time into practice, I'd be good already. I wouldn't be struggling right now. So I really have to think about those 2 measures and get a flow into them. So let's do that a couple times. We got that E flat. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. Just leading into that measure. Also, my approach right now is just a chill practice. And that probably should be my approach to all of them. It's just, here's the content. Not content for you guys, but content for me. Like, this is what I'm trying to learn. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to learn this. Eventually, I'm going to, talk to Robert while I do it because I like chatting a little bit. And it'll come together. So it's probably the expectation we all need to have for practice. Though, I quite often find out for kids and adults that I teach is they don't really understand how to practice. I didn't understand how to practice. It's not that hard of a concept, but the reality is, like, you have to have a plan. You have to put that plan into place. You have to, find the smartest way to do things. Otherwise, if you take too long to learn something, you get demotivated and don't do it. All right. Let's try to do, just get a good flow from this E flat measure. We can just do them without metronome for a bit. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. C. Let's just do that a couple times. Get that flow down because my brain stalls out when I go F, G. Yeah, I don't really know that B flat is next in that G minor 7 measure. Just don't have it memorized, and my sight reading skills aren't always the best. 1 and, oh no, we're going to start from E flat. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G. Shit. Let's do it again. So E flat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Let's try to get that down. Having good confidence going to those 2 measures will help me get into that last measure. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1. And then we'll just I don't want to take off a full measure every time, so we'll just give myself 2 beats of starting over. That was good though. And 2 and... we were starting on beat 3, but that's okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right. right, we probably need an extra measure of recovery, or a full measure of recovery every time. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, 1 and 2 and 3. Oops. Okay, yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Brain is gone now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we go. 1 and 2 and 3. Dang. I keep on wanting to go to C for some reason. Don't know why. Just keep doing it for some reason. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, we're gonna try that. Even though it's not going well right now, we're gonna try with metronome. Sometimes it like just throws me in a line and I get better. Sometimes it shows you that I can't play it. 2 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We're gonna try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So right now it's showing you that I can't play it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I know why I keep hitting that C, because I end the loop with C, and then it's just comfortable for me to try to go there again. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's try to get a couple of those. It might be slipping tonight, guys. Take one measure off, or 2 measures off. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. All right. I might be close to being done. Misfiring's happening, and I'm losing control of it. But dude, a good hour in, I'm happy with that already. But because I said I'm happy and I'm never content, let's just try to do this measure a little bit. I just wish I could figure out. No, I think we need to attack this measure as if it didn't have a 1. Might be the answer. Let's go back to slowing this down. I said this earlier today. if you can end your practice, it's no different than a weightlifting session. If you can end your session with just one more push, whether it be sprints or in this case, doing a measure that is challenging for me, there are bonuses that will come from you doing stuff like that. I did it earlier today. I did it on the intro. This one might just be on this one where we just really spend a minute breaking down this idea so that we can play it tomorrow at a better level. And really, most of the song is done after this. I know that sounds not believable, but even at 40 BPM, full speed's 89. These four measures have like 80% of the concepts that are in the song, which is not uncommon. All right, so here's where I'm thinking that I can do this. 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and I might have spoke too early. 4. All right, let's do just left hand. So I'm just going to skip right hand. So tired that I forgot which hand I had. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's all we want. We're going to skip that downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. 30 sounds like great tempo until you have to do just one hand. That's a little slow. Let's try 35. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so let's try both hands together. 1 and so it's kind of nice, right? 1 and 2 and then again and if we could just do that 1 and 2 and 3. So of course I needed to add one extra beat because I'm me. 1 and 2 1 and 2 and so really you could go 1 and 2 and maybe this was the idea that I was trying to come up with. No, because the and 1 and 2. Oh, the and is played. So no, we can't do that anyway. All right. Let's try the whole measure. 1 and 2 and 3. That needs to be learned. Right now it is unlearned. 1 and 2 and 3. It's not too bad, right? And 3. And then really, I feel like I can just do the whole measure because 4. It's not that hard, but just I have to walk through that so many times to just get the understanding of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's hear that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Make it into a polka song. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Some of those ideas were right. I do like the. We can work on that later. Anyway, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and trying to hit that B flat with just before I'm trying to do that a lot of times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 more times. And maybe by that I mean one more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So, lesson here for everyone. Spend your time just sitting there and count it over and over again. Because the next song that has this offbeat thing, you will not have to spend 25 minutes on this. You can spend 4 minutes on it and get it done if you spend the time learning how to count this out. And learning how to count it with metronome is going to make it way easier. I just need to do 5 minutes of this, try metronome. If I fail with metronome, go back to just counting it out, trying to get the sense of timing going on. The splitting of the notes and everything is a lot for me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you can see my hesitation of trying to think of 4. 4 doesn't exist in my brain. For some reason, I want to keep those going on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and better. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. After a while, your right to left hand kind of helps the rhythm. Right now, it's just so much thinking for me that it's not possible to even help. And 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We all heard that, right? It sounded really weird. 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do a couple without. 1 and 2 and 3 and. My brain totally went duh, and it's stuck in the gear. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more, and then we're probably just gonna call it a night. Mine have drained the synapses far enough. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'd really like to end it with metronome though. We might be done. And that's okay. It's just not my brain. It is not working right now. But like I said, I think I did a 45-minute session earlier today. That's 58 minutes on that. That's good. That's a good practice. So, and sometimes it's not about this practice. It's about practice. It's not about the next practice. It's about this practice. And you just have to have that mindset of eventually practice becomes easier. It becomes a breathing exercise for you. All right, you guys have a good rest of your, well, now it's Tuesday, so I can't say have a good rest of your Monday. But I will talk to you guys all soon. We'll be doing more of these. If you want to support our work, become a member at Music by the Measures Pro. With that, you get sheet music, you get videos, you get whatever you want. Almost anything you want. All right, you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday.